My name is Destiny Ulrich, and today I'm going to do a physical exam on an equine patient. So I have my assistant holding my horse here, and I'm going to have her walk the horse in a circle. I'm going to kind of evaluate from the distance and just see how she's carrying herself, see her mentation. And then if my assistant will walk her in the opposite circle, a lot of times lameness will show up whenever you reverse and they have to redistribute their balance, and just gives you a clearer picture of how they are at all times with their musculoskeletal system. All right, so that everything looks really good there. So I'm going to start from head and work my way back. So I'm just going to look in her eyes and see if I know any cloudiness or redness or discharge. Everything looks really good there. Easy girl. Everything is pretty good with her ears. If there's any head shaking or that, we would note that. Then I'm just gonna make sure that she's blowing air out of both nostrils. I feel it over here. I feel it over there. Then I'm gonna take a look at her gums. Nice and pink. Gives me a good chance to look at her incisors. And everything is a good alignment there. Now I can test her capillary refill time. Hold on, babe. It's pretty instant. Yeah. We've got less than a second with her capillary refill time, so everything's good with that. I'm gonna work my way back. I'm just gonna feel down her neck. Just make sure that there's no lumps or bumps. And I'll feel down her leg. Also feel her pulse, her submandibular, lymph nodes as well. Make sure that we can feel it on both sides. All right, everything's good there. So just gonna run my hand along her back. If she would be sore at all, we would be able to note that. And then now I'll take a listen. So I'm gonna start by listening to her heart. I'm gonna hold my stethoscope between my two fingers here. Easy. Just let her know that I'm here. We want to be cognizant of how they're acting at each moment. So now I'm listening for any irregular beats, murmurs, or anything of that sort. Everything sounds very steady. So I'm going to start with the lung fields. If there was any respiratory distress, then you would hear noise. Typically, you're not going to hear any noise. I'm going to take a listen to her gut sounds and divide it into two quadrants, an upper and a lower. And I can hear the gut moving. I can hear it there. So we'll move on. I'm going to check her rear for any lumps or bumps or anything of that sort. I do notice she has a little spot on her hock, but nothing deep or anything like that. All right, so then we'll get her temperature. We have a digital thermometer, so it'll be a little bit faster than a mercury. And I'll get her to kind of lift her tail up for me. And then just making sure I advance it completely into the rectum as far as I can. So our temp is 100, so that's good. I'll just evaluate her urogenital area, make sure that I don't see any growths or abnormal discharge or anything like that. She's not having any problems, so everything looks really good. And I'm just going to stay pretty close to her. And feel down the back here. See if I feel anything. Here. Fine. Okay. Alright. No sore areas. Then we'll take a listen to her lungs and her heart on this side. And I'm really not hearing any sounds, so that's good. No lower respiratory distress or anything like that. And again, just listening for any irregular rhythm. Everything sounds good. So we'll take a listen to her gut. You can hear good gut sounds. All right. Actually, I'm going to take a listen to her trachea and just make sure that there's no abnormal sounds there with her inhales and exhales. Sounds good. So one of the last things I'm going to check for is digital pulses. That's something that you would be able to feel easy if there was any laminitis or anything of that kind. And I don't feel any. So I don't feel any pulses down there. So again, just feeling her front for any lumps and bumps.